A serene evening of faith and celebration at Perfecting Church turned into something far more complicated than anyone anticipated. The congregation had gathered for a joyous fundraiser under the guidance of Bishop Marvin Winans, hoping to contribute to a new building project. Spirits were high, and the choir filled the sanctuary with powerful melodies. The community was excited to support a shared vision, sharing testimonies of faith and blessings. But as the offering began, an unexpected tension emerged that no one could have predicted. What was supposed to be a night of inspiration became a moment that would ripple far beyond the walls of the church. One single comment from the pulpit ignited controversy, and the atmosphere of warmth and devotion shifted into a charged silence that left members uncertain and viewers across social media shocked. This night became a turning point for the church, highlighting how fragile trust and perception can be when leadership is tested. The moment that sparked outrage. As donations were announced, Bishop Winans singled out a member who had given $1,200, questioning their generosity in front of the entire congregation. His words were unexpected and sharp, causing an immediate sense of discomfort. Some churchgoers were stunned into silence, while others felt the comment crossed a line between accountability and humiliation. Within hours, video of the moment circulated online, sparking widespread debate. Many criticized the bishop for publicly shaming a member, interpreting it as a lapse of compassion and understanding. Others defended him, suggesting his intention was to encourage reflection about giving and faith. Regardless of perspective, the moment left a lasting impression. It demonstrated the power of public accountability, the delicate balance of leadership, and how a single moment could ignite widespread controversy, challenging both trust and perception within the church community. The donor's hidden struggle. What intensified the outrage was the revelation that the member called out was struggling financially. Reports indicated they were a single parent doing their best to manage bills and responsibilities. The $1,200 donation, substantial for anyone, represented a significant personal sacrifice. This context transformed the perception of the bishop's words from an admonishment into an apparent insensitivity to personal circumstances. Viewers and church members alike began questioning whether the church's leadership truly understood the meaning of giving as an act of the heart rather than a mere financial transaction. The story resonated widely because it highlighted a universal tension: how spiritual guidance intersects with human vulnerability. It reminded people that generosity is not always measured in dollars but in intention and courage, emphasizing the profound responsibility leaders hold in addressing the hearts of their followers. Social media frenzy. The video went viral, and public discourse quickly exploded. Comments poured in across social media platforms, with many condemning Bishop Winans for his perceived insensitivity. Critics labeled the incident as spiritual manipulation and an abuse of authority, while supporters insisted that his message had been taken out of context. The online reaction revealed how quickly an isolated moment could become a national conversation, reflecting broader concerns about accountability, empathy, and leadership in religious spaces. The controversy demonstrated the modern reality of transparency, where actions in sacred spaces are scrutinized globally. People debated whether leadership should prioritize financial targets, spiritual lessons, or compassion, and the discussion revealed deep divisions about the proper role of authority within a faith community. Underlying church tensions. The controversy was not isolated. It exposed long-standing issues within Perfecting Church, particularly related to the delayed construction of the promised new building. Members had contributed repeatedly to fundraisers over years, only to see little progress, which had left lingering doubts about the church's transparency and stewardship. The incident reignited these unresolved frustrations, emphasizing the fragility of trust. When combined with the bishop's public critique, it created a perception that financial concerns had eclipsed spiritual guidance. Longtime members began revisiting past experiences and realized the moment reflected deeper systemic issues, where leadership pressure and unmet expectations had quietly built tension. The fundraising episode became symbolic of a larger struggle between faith, governance, and accountability in religious institutions. Leadership under scrutiny. Bishop Winans' reaction and silence added fuel to the controversy. His lack of immediate clarification or apology was interpreted in multiple ways. Some saw it as prudence, allowing reflection, while others felt it indicated avoidance. The bishop's public image, previously seen as compassionate and inspiring, now faced critical examination. Members debated whether leadership accountability had been overshadowed by pride or a misunderstanding of generosity. The incident illustrated how leaders are continuously evaluated, not just by their guidance, but by the optics of their actions. The scrutiny extended beyond the individual to the perception of the church itself, showing how faith communities can be vulnerable to public opinion and how leadership must carefully balance teaching, example, and sensitivity. Emotional fallout. Among members, within the congregation, reactions were deeply personal. Some members struggled to reconcile their respect for the bishop with feelings of hurt or betrayal. Attendance began to decline, reflecting the emotional impact of the event. Others felt conflicted between defending their leader and acknowledging the injustice of shaming someone for giving generously. This tension demonstrated how a single incident could ripple across a community, affecting morale, trust, and collective identity. For many, it prompted reflection about what faith and generosity truly mean, emphasizing that emotional and spiritual well-being are as critical to church life as financial support. The incident became a mirror reflecting both individual vulnerability and communal trust. Broader religious implications. The controversy sparked wider conversations across the gospel and Christian community. Pastors, congregants, and observers debated the appropriate balance between spiritual teaching and public accountability. Many highlighted the potential dangers of emphasizing monetary contributions over heartfelt generosity. Others defended the bishop, framing the moment as a lesson in accountability and faith. The discussion revealed universal questions about ethics in ministry, leadership responsibility, and the tension between expectation and compassion. It became a case study in how churches navigate the fine line between teaching stewardship and enforcing perceived obligations, offering insight into the complexities of spiritual leadership in modern contexts. Financial transparency questions. The incident reignited scrutiny over church finances. Members questioned the handling of donations and the ongoing delay of the new building project, raising concerns about accountability and stewardship. Many wondered if repeated contributions were genuinely advancing the stated mission or being diverted elsewhere. Public discourse amplified these doubts, demonstrating that transparency is vital in sustaining trust. The situation highlighted the importance of clear communication, ethical responsibility, and integrity in leadership. It also underscored how perceptions of financial mismanagement can overshadow decades of spiritual service, emphasizing that faith communities rely as much on trust as on devotion and generosity. Attempts at restoration. In the wake of the controversy, church leaders organized discussions and proposed restoration meetings to rebuild unity. These sessions aimed to facilitate dialogue, clarify misunderstandings, and reaffirm the church's values of compassion and service. However, healing was slow, as members sought reassurance that generosity would no longer be met with judgment. The process emphasized the importance of accountability, empathy, and open communication in resolving conflicts. It illustrated that restoration is more than words. It requires consistent demonstration of understanding, acknowledgement of mistakes, and reinforcement of trust. These steps were crucial in mending relationships within the congregation and restoring confidence in leadership. Lessons in faith and leadership. The events at Perfecting Church serve as a powerful reminder about the responsibilities of spiritual leadership. Words from the pulpit carry immense weight, capable of inspiring or wounding. The controversy revealed how pride, frustration, and lack of awareness can undermine authority, while compassion, humility, and transparency sustain it. For congregants, it was a lesson in evaluating the heart behind actions rather than focusing solely on outcomes. For leaders, it highlighted the need for empathy, understanding, and alignment with spiritual principles. True faith, the incident underscored, is measured by intention, compassion, and the ability to guide with grace rather than coercion. The path forward. Ultimately, the story of perfecting church is one of reflection, accountability, and the ongoing challenge of maintaining trust within spiritual communities. The bishop's leadership faced a pivotal moment, either to rebuild credibility through humility and transparency or risk further division. The congregation learned that generosity is an act of the heart and that leadership must prioritize understanding over criticism. Though the controversy shook the church, it also offered an opportunity to strengthen relationships, clarify values, and demonstrate that faith thrives in a culture of grace, forgiveness, and compassion. Trust, once fractured, requires patience, empathy, and authentic leadership to restore fully.